Adar marks the Hilula of Harav Mordechai Azaran Z'tl. Now, he was born in English year 1848, and he passed away in English year 1938, approximately from time of recording about 87 years ago, something around that. In himself, he'll become part of the Din, Sephardi Din of Jaffa, respectively. He'll be appointed in various different great positions in the land of Israel. When the Chachamim, let's say, of the Beit Midrash of Yeshivat Pורת Yosef, which is a very, very prominent position. Let's explore a few of the highlights of the great rabbi's life. Now, he was born in Morocco, in the area of Marrakesh. Remember, Marrakesh in of its day had a great Torah Jewish community, and he learned under the great rabbis of Marrakesh, respectively. I think especially under Rabbi Mordechai Azaran, another great rabbi we've spoken about before on various occasions before. He happened to himself be a head of Jewish court of Marrakesh over there, and he would become a great Talmud Chacham, Darshan, and brilliant. All throughout his young years, it showed apparent the greatness as the potential that he had. He would actually also, while he was young, while learning the whole time and teaching, he was working in a trade also. He would found a Beit Midrash in Marrakesh. I think that it's reported over, it still exists here in modern day today. I think various different great rabbis, Shluchei Rabbanan, would actually come from Eretz Israel and would be guests in his house, respectively. It's reported over even the famous Rabbi Yaakov Abu Chatzer would actually come and visit. He was one of the famous rabbis, a grandfather of the Baba Sadi, respectively, we've spoken about on various occasions before. He would actually come and visit him and stay with him, which is absolutely incredible, because he happened to be the Avi Yaakov, arguably the greatest Moroccan rabbi in Jewish history. Then come on, I believe it was around 1907. At that stage in time, he would have been about 59 years of age. He would actually move to Eretz Israel with his family, and he would, I think he was actually going to stay in Tiberias, being one of the four holy cities over there. I think that was a popular place, one of the popular epicenters of Torah at that stage in time. He was going to come there, I think it's reported over, but I think he would pass through Jaffa, and the Sephardic community will embrace him over there and convince him to actually stay in Jaffa at that point in time. It was reported over that there was an epidemic or floods that was occurring there at that point in time. So he would stay in Jaffa, and over there he'd be appointed as a judge in Sephardic community, respectively, along with other great rabbis, including Rabbi Yosef Arwatz, who happened to be a famous Moroccan Jerusalem rabbi, great public figure himself, and the head Sephardi rabbi, and one of the members or founding members of the Even Yisrael community in Jerusalem, a place that we visited on this channel in of itself. And come what the year, I think it's around 1914, he would actually travel with his family, move to Alexandria in Egypt, Mitzrayim, as we say, in of itself. And he would actually, I think this was a period when it was the First World War, and that obviously brought troubles, turbulent time, not just among the whole world and stuff, especially for the Jewish community. And I think he had a French citizenships that would have caused him more issues. And I think, as if I'm not mistaken, that when the end of the First World War was at that point in time, he would return back to Palestine, to Jaffa. And in 1921, he would move to Tel Aviv, I believe, with his family. And I think there was that was a point of time in 1921. There was a lot of riots, there was robbery, and there was a lot of anti-Semitism against Jewish people at that stage in time. So that would prompt his move to Tel Aviv. I think come on 1926, family would move to the old city of Jerusalem, and he would at that stage in time start, let's say, learning and teaching in the bastion of the Sephardic Yeshivot in Israel, the Pורת Yosef Yeshiva. I think with the great rabbi of Rav Ben-Zion Aton. He happens to be, I think, the father of Rav Shabtai Aton, another great rabbi who we've spoken about on various occasions before. He would become the Ram of the Yeshiva, a very prominent position, and would start answering various different halachic questions and response at that point in time. I think Rabbi Moshe Hayish actually writes, I think, within regards to, it's actually written over that Rabbi Chaim Moshe Elisha, who happened to be, I think, the Rishon LeZion at that point in time, was had actually a pamphlet containing halachic questions, and many of these questions was asked from Rav Azaran, so it was actually published there in itself, I think, from the head of the community of Marrakesh in the year 1914. And it just showed that he was corresponding, I think, with Rav Elisha, and Rabbi Ben-Zion Chai Uziel would actually review many of his questions and answers in of itself. Now, I think come with the year 1933 it was, I think his book called the Mordechai, very different drashot would actually be printed. It was also based on Hespedim, let's just say, of Rav Shmuel Salant, and who happened to be Pasek then, if I'm not mistaken, and the various other great books in of itself was actually written. So I recommend everyone to look into that. Remember, he had, I think, a close friendship also, or connection to Rav Eliyahu Moshe Panijel, who happens to be one of the Rishon LeZions in Jewish history, one of the great ones at that point in time. On Tet Zayin Adar, Hey Tafresh Tzedik Het, he passed away, or he was, I think, buried on that specific in Har HaZeitim. Now, it's actually, it just showed what a great, it states of what a great diligent learner he absolutely was, and what a brilliant person he was. Now, his grandson, Rabbi Nissim David Azaran, I think would establish in Jerusalem the Yeshiva Beit Shmuel and Ohel Mordechai as a remembrance for the great rabbi. And let's explore some more of his family. He left really very much a great family. I believe it's reported that he'd been married on 4 occasions. Over there, I think 2 of his wives would have children with him. And his son, Rav Shmuel Azaran, would become the head of the Jewish court for the Sephardi community in Jerusalem, I believe. And that's interesting enough. He would have, I think, children, daughters, including Farcha, Chana, Jujat, I hope I pronounced the name correctly, and Chaya. And his grandson would be Rav Nissim David Azaran, who became the Rosh Yeshiva of Beit Shmuel and Ohel Mordechai, very prominent positions in of itself. This was, I think, and he had prominent position, I think, in Yakir, Jerusalem, if I'm not mistaken. I have to double check that. And another one of his descendants was Rabbanit Tzvia. She would get married to the Rishon LeZion, Rabbi Mordechai Azaran Z'tl, the famous chief rabbi of Israel. And another descendants became other famous descendants actually came about within regards to them. And don't forget to light candles in his memory. The 16th of Adar marks his Hilula, and he from the great Moroccan rabbis that lived in Eretz Yisrael in his time. We're a community, friends. We're learning about the great rabbis of yesteryear. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. If you happen to be related to any of the great Chachamim, please let me know. Send me a comment. I would love to hear more. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. If you feel anyone will be interested in watching these videos, please share these videos to other people. Among his great-great-grandchildren, I think, includes a famous Rabbi Shmuel Eliyahu. If I'm not mistaken, he's a chief rabbi currently of Tzfat. Also, Rav Yosef Eliyahu, Rav Shlomo ben Eliyahu, and various different descendants, and really have made their mark on Am Yisrael. So wishing you well, take care, and have a good night.